Chapter coming at you today in Diablo Immortal, a sponsored video by Diablo Immortal. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's video. But you guys know here on the channel, when I cover a game, especially in a big dedicated video like this, I'm just going to be a noob, right? I'm not going to know what I'm talking about, so I always like to bring on a special guest. And today I'm bringing on a great friend and longtime collaborator. It is none other than Chosen. Chosen, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me. It's always fun to sit down and talk some Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, and you've been going hard on Diablo Immortal. Matter of fact, we have a website. I'll share all this stuff later, but we have a website. We have an alliance together. A lot of cool stuff in the game. I haven't been playing much lately, so I'm still I'm learning, I should say. I need you to help me out. So why don't we go ahead and start with just the basics of Diablo Immortal. What are we looking at here, especially for those who might have some familiarity with the Diablo kind of IP, but maybe haven't played in a long time?
Sure, yeah, so right now you're doing the leveling process. You're going to play through the storyline. You've got your primary attack there on the bottom right that you can spam at will, and then you're going to have your abilities that are on cooldown, and you can use those. You've got your Rain of Vengeance there and your different abilities kind of circling your primary, and then your potion up on the top there when you get low on life, and you're just going to kind of play through the story mode right now and level up until you get to level 60, and that's when you'll kind of start the end game.
Okay, so first goal for new players is get to level 60.
Yep, you wanna beat the campaign and kind of finish the storyline, and then that's when you'll unlock some of the end game mechanics and start participating in that stuff.
Okay, that's really cool. So it sounds like they kind of, I mean, obviously the graphics are absolutely insane. They do a really, really good job. I'm not just saying this because it's a sponsored video either. They do a good job capturing the feel of like Diablo. Like, you know, like I was surprised at how good the game quality is in terms of just the feel of it and the overall graphics, you know?
Yeah, and even some of the like tile sets and the Rift Guardians and stuff that you'll face are from like Diablo 3 and the Diablo universe that people will be familiar with. So yeah, it's a great introduction for both Diablo veterans and people that are new to the series.
Yeah, it's super cool. So okay, so let's give a few beginner tips for folks out there, right? So what should we be focused on in the beginning? Obviously, you already mentioned kind of going through the storyline and just like seeing, you know, learning about the game through playing a little bit. But after that, are there any like maybe common mistakes or pitfalls people should try to avoid?
So the whole game is gonna, in terms of your progress, is gonna kind of revolve around your combat rating. So when you're trying to make a decision on what gear to wear, you'll see a lot of these posts online, like which one of these pieces is best, which one do I equip. You're gonna want to kind of lean in the direction of what increases your combat rating, because that will help you unlock more content and clear the content easier. So if you're ever in a spot where you can't choose, go with the one. In 99% of cases, go with the one that's gonna increase your combat rating until you get end game and you're in Hell 4 or whatever. Then you can start min-maxing your sets and stuff like that. But I would recommend people focus mainly on the combat rating. Is
there a certain class or something that is considered best, or is it just all up to, you know, the user, the player?
Yeah, you know, the classes are in a pretty good spot. I would say play what looks fun. There's 3 melee classes, there's 3 ranged classes, and all of them can play pretty well, and you can have fun playing them. They've all got cool features, like you're playing the Demon Hunter right now, which is the only class that can fire while moving, which is a super cool.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep, this is the only class that can do that. Every other class will have to like get stationary and use their attacks and stuff. So that is a really cool feature of the Demon Hunter, and Demon Hunter is a great class. If you made me pick like a top 3 general overall and split them in half, I would probably go Necromancer, Demon Hunter, Crusader, just in general. But the other classes are fine as well, like Wizard crushes it in PvP with Black Hole, and I'm throwing a lot at you here, but basically they're all in a good spot.
I can follow, man. I can pick up what you're putting down here. What do you play? What is your main class?
Yep, I play the Demon Hunter. Yep,
okay.
So the same one you're doing.
I should mention to everybody, hey, after you download the game using my link, which has some goodies for you as well, after you download the game, check out Chosen's Diablo channel. Is it just Chofly Diablo? You know, what's the name of it?
Just Chosen. Yep, Chosen Diablo Immortal. Yep.
Chosen Diablo Immortal. Check it out, because I'm sure you have plenty of like beginner content and stuff out there to help people out.
Oh yeah, daily uploads, tier lists, and everything to kind of get people rolling and stay in the loop.
Okay, so let me examine this Worldstone shard here. So Todd, tell me a little bit about what I can expect in this game. You gave some beginner tips, fantastic advice. what is the end game? Not the end game. What is the mid game where we spend the majority of our time? Like, what kind of activities are there to do in this game? Like, where are you spending the majority of your time, for example?
Yeah, so the main game, once you kind of finish the leveling process, which will take you somewhere between 20 and 40 hours, depending on how experienced you are with Diablo type games.
Okay, good to
You'll
know.
hit level 60, yeah,
Yep.
somewhere in that window. And then you're gonna start probably participating. Most people will start participating in the cycle of strife, which is the constant battle on your server between the shadows and the immortals. And most likely you'll start out as a shadow, and then you'll be working with other shadow clans and trying to overthrow the immortals, and then you'll become hopefully the immortals. So there's constant drama and conflict.
Yeah, I hear
and,
about this.
yeah.
I hear about this. Like people, like this is a big thing about these immortals and stuff like that. So when you're the immortal, I sound like a super noob, which I am. But when you're the immortal, you have to protect it essentially. Like everybody's coming for you.
Yeah, so we are the immortals right now as of recording this. And you're the way you play is kind of different in terms of your daily tasks and what you kind of do. And then you wait for the shadows to get strong enough to start challenging you. And then they'll put together like certain squads, and then you'll have to fight them in a literal PvP match. And there'll be like 8 different squads and 8 different battles. And once they win enough of those battles versus you, once they get strong enough, then you'll go into this huge PvP arena, and they'll have the opportunity to fight each other to decide amongst the shadows who is going to take the crown.
Dude, that's pretty sick, actually. Yeah, I'm not, like that's pretty. What is your most fun part about the game? What do you enjoy the most?
Yeah, I would say definitely the like camaraderie of having a clan and working towards an objective together. It was really fun as the shadows to try and overthrow and work together to become the immortals. And now that we're the immortals, we have to defend the vault against the shadows trying to raid it. And you got to core with your team. So they do a pretty good job with the social aspect and having both sides of the cycle of strife, having some fun and opportunities to work together.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the clan system in this game. Like, what is it? Is it guild or clan?
Yeah, I mean, either one is fine,
Okay.
but I think they're technically clans. But yeah, you get a clan of 100, of up to 100, and then you'll have war bands of 8. So the war band will be like the people you play the most with. Maybe you chat on Discord or whatever. You do your war band raids together, and there's a war band stash where you can all contribute gear to that you can all take turns using and stuff. So the war band will be like the 8 people you play with the most, and then you'll have your overarching clan of up to 100 people, and that's what you'll go into like these shadow war matches with.
Dude, that sounds really, really cool. I officially finished the first mission, Chosen. No big deal, man. No big deal.
Hey, on your way to be a pro.
Yeah, so now I can level up and gain power, fight terrifying evils, or reap valuable rewards. Well, I will continue. It sounds all good to me. So talk to me about I guess, gearing, equipping, like what's important in terms of either... Talk to me about the economy of the game. Talk to me about resources, like what's the most valuable and what should I be focused on in the early game?
Sure. Well, the economy, it revolves around a marketplace where you use platinum as a resource to buy and sell goods in the marketplace. You can buy the gemstones, which are going to increase like your damage and life with rubies and stuff like that. Or the super valuable, most valuable things in the game are the legendary gems. The top 2 would be currently the blood-soaked jade and the seeping bile in terms of price that they'll yield on the market.
Okay.
And once you kind of start playing the game and looking through the market, you'll see these different legendary gems and stuff pop up. But yeah, it all revolves around platinum in terms of what you will acquire when you sell something and what you use to purchase things that catch your eye.
Okay, really, really cool. So in terms of gearing early on, I'm assuming like most games like this, it doesn't matter that much. Just like keep trying to upgrade to your point earlier.
Yeah. So
Yep.
like if you click on the top right, once you get a second, you see that flashing like backpack up in the top right.
Yep.
If you click that and open it, you'll probably, you see some arrows. So those mean that it views that as an upgrade for you. It's not always perfectly right, but early game like this, when you're leveling up 1 to 60, 99% of the time it's going to be right. So you can probably just go through and check that every few minutes while you're leveling, killing stuff, and make sure you've got all those green arrows equipped.
Okay. Well, it looks like I have quite a few here that I can go ahead and equip right away.
Yeah,
I'm
and then
sure.
after you do that, I'll show you what I'm talking about in the gearing and leveling process in terms of. So now go to stay in there on your backpack.
Okay, yeah.
And then And then on the bottom left, you can see where it says tap to view bonus attributes.
Yep.
So you click there.
Okay.
And then click more attributes to expand it on the bottom there,
Sure.
the more attributes.
Yep.
And oh no, it backed out of it.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. Fat fingered it.
Yeah, so there.
Okay.
Yeah, now you see the combat rating. So up top there, that's the most important thing you want to focus on while you're leveling, and making sure you constantly hit those green arrows to make that combat rating go up, because all of your damage and everything will kind of scale around that combat rating, and making sure you're at the threshold to be above the combat rating of the opponents you're fighting.
Okay, I absolutely love the intricacy of the game. You know, like this is a game. It's similar to like an MMO. Do you consider it MMO, RPG type game?
I always joked. I always joke that my threshold of if a game is an RPG or an MMO is whether or not you can fish. So
that's actually so. Can you fish in Diablo Immortal? That's the big question.
Fish in Diablo.
Oh
so
man, forget it. Forget it. It's not sponsored anymore. I'm out. I'm just joking.
But yeah, no, it's it does do a good job of capturing kind of both of the elements of RPG and MMO, where you've got kind of you capture a little bit of both worlds.
Yeah. It does have that MMO RPG feel that I know so well from my past, and I know you do it as well. So I absolutely love that. What is your favorite in terms of? You mentioned a little bit of this already, but like, how often do you play? Like, how often do you grind this game? I know these types of games can be a bit grindy, which I actually really love. It's not for everybody, but is there a lot of XP grinding in this game, or did they do a nice job of kind of mixing up a lot of things to do, a variety,
Yeah, well, the nice thing about this game is they've got a catch-up mechanic on it. So if you can't play for a week or whatever, when you log in, the server levels up kind of at a steady pace. And if you fall behind the level up pace of the server, you get massive boosts to your XP. Oh,
really?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
So you can actually take some time off and come back and catch up pretty quickly. So it's a really cool catch-up mechanic. So you can play the game effectively casually. As long as you log in and do your dailies, you can be a contributing member of a clan. You don't have to be playing 12 hours a day. All we ask in our clan that's hyper competitive as the Immortals is just do your dailies. Like, if you play actively, we'd love to have you. So you can definitely do it casually.
Dude, I'm scared that I'm going to get so hooked on this game. That's my concern. That's my number one fear, man. Just the graphics and the social elements alone, and just the overall, like, kind of motif, the dungeon crawler motif, like, back in the day. I played Diablo 2, like, it seems like 20 years ago now. But that's my concern, right? It's like, I don't know if I'd stop playing this game ever. It's just really, really cool. Any other beginner tips before we let you go? Chosen, in terms of either things you should be focused on, things to avoid, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's most of it. Just like there are some maybe the caps in the game, like be aware of certain things. Like it can be a double-edged sword, mostly a good thing, but you can farm up to 12 gems a day. So just be aware of that. Check your XP bar, and you'll see that once you get ahead of like the server paragon level, it might go red, and it might be an opportunity for you to wait a little bit until it's back in the green. So just be aware of some of those caps. And yeah, have fun, get in a shadow clan and get after the Immortals, and yeah, I would say focus on a single target build for the Shadow War, because you're going to be going up against a huge immortal boss that you got to do a bunch of damage to when you walk into your first Shadow War. So yeah, I mean, I could talk for 3 hours about random tips, but yeah, you'll learn quickly, and it does a good job of introducing you to all the different mechanics.
Okay, I like one final question then. What about when is the right time to start like joining groups and stuff, parties, versus just soloing, or does it depend on your class?
So you can play the game pretty well solo. You're gonna have to group up to do dungeons. But the nice thing is you're not really gonna have to go crazy hardcore grinding dungeons until way later when you're a little bit more of a veteran, because the ring slots for set pieces aren't gonna unlock until Hell 4, which is 150 Paragon. So you've got some time. You can definitely play solo and do your challenge rifts and do your dailies and do your bounties and do your open world farming and play the story. So, and then later on, when you want to group up, probably the best opportunity to do so would be the dungeons.
Okay, fantastic stuff, Chosen. I will have a link to your YouTube channel along with the download link. Again, this video is sponsored, so thank you so much for Diablo Immortal for sponsoring the video. And also, we have a website which is filled with fantastic resources and getting a lot better. I say we, but it's really you putting in the most of the work, Chosen. So here's the website, diablopro.gg. Tons of resources out there, along with amazing content creators. You've really formed an alliance with some of the best content creators out there. So if you guys download the game, perfect first place to go is to diablopro.gg, and you can find a bunch of really amazing guides, tutorials, along with videos to help you out on your journey. So Chosen, thanks so much again for coming on. Pleasure to have you. Thanks for walking us through Diablo Immortal.
Hey, thanks for having me. Fun as always, Ash.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. Go ahead and download using my link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.